Ignition interlock. What is it? When do you need it? How do you get rid of it? Well, my name's Lance Fryrear, and I am the defender of justice. Defender of justice. Defender of justice. Defender of justice. And I don't normally look like this or look like this. And I'm a lawyer. And my law firm has been defending people charged with crimes for more than 20 years. And an ignition interlock is something that people need more and more often. And you may have heard of it. You may have heard of it as a blow and go, an ignition interlock device. And in this video, I'm going to say what it is, when you need it, and how to get rid of it. So what is that ignition interlock? Well, it is a device that gets attached to the ignition of your vehicle. It's maybe about this big, and it will be attached to the ignition. There'll be a cord that comes up, and you'll have to blow into the device to be able to start your car. You'll actually have to hum and blow usually. And I've tested them out. I've tried to drive a vehicle with one, and it's rather difficult. They're not super expensive nowadays. It's still costly, think around $100 a month. And if you happen to have alcohol on your breath, your car won't start, and a report will be generated where you might get in some trouble if you're on some type of probation where you're not allowed to drink. If there's no alcohol on your breath, then the car should start and you can go on and drive. Now, if you do start your car successfully, that's not the end of it. It's going to ask you to re-blow every so often. Might be every 10 minutes, might be less, might be more. It changes as the law changes, but you're going to have to blow during driving. And if you don't blow, your car could be stopped by the device. And so it is a difficult thing, and it can be dangerous. So that's what an interlock is. And when are you required to get an interlock? Well, if you get convicted of a DUI, you're going to have an ignition interlock 1 year for a first restriction, 5 years if it's the second time you've been ordered to have one on a conviction, and 10 years if it's the third time or more you've been ordered to have an interlock. You might also be ordered to have an interlock if it's your second time you've been charged with a DUI and you're showing up for arraignment. If you got a prior DUI conviction at any time in the past and you have a new DUI, you can bet on that at the time you go to the court for your arraignment, your first court appearance, the court will likely order you to have an interlock. That's the status of the law when I'm filming this in November 2020. So check with an attorney to be safe. When else might you need an interlock? Well, let's say you suffered a license suspension from a DUI. You're not convicted, and you have a license suspension, and you want to get something that I refer to as an ignition interlock license. And to get that interlock license, you have to have an interlock. And there's a whole bunch of different interlock companies you can contact, and they all charge about the same. Find one that's convenient. And we like to use Smart Start, but there's a lot of good ones out there. Finally, how do you get rid of an interlock device on your car? Well, the main way you do it is you have to wait out the requirements. In other words, if it's a 1 year interlock, you can't get rid of it in less than 1 year. But if you don't do things right, it might take more than 1 year because the legislature keeps changing the law. At one point it was 4 months, another point it's 6 months. Basically, near the end of your interlock period of time, you sort of have to have perfect behavior where you can't have any tests that are over the limit that's set for the interlock device. You can't have any, mistests, stuff like that. And if you do, the time frame starts again for perfect behavior. So once your interlock time is up, do not just take out the interlock, because right now, at least, the ignition interlock company needs to send a form to the Department of Licensing saying you've lived up to the terms of the law before you're allowed to remove the interlock. So many people just say, hey, my year's up, I'm going to remove the interlock, and then they get charged with a crime for driving without an interlock. So you have to wait out the restriction, and then to get the interlock out, sometimes you need that proof sent to the Department of Licensing by the interlock company. Please check with an attorney. So if you need an attorney because you're charged with this type of crime that needs an interlock, or you just have questions about it, we're always happy to try to assist. Again, my name's Lance Fryrear. I'm the owner of the law offices of Lance Fryrear. We've been defending people charged with crimes for more than 20 years. Uh, we know our way around what's going on with the law. It changes all the time, is why I'm not super specific here. But give our office a call. We'll do what we can to help. We'll be there for you. Thank you.